Good day, dear students. How are you? Are you ready for today's lecture? Good. If you're ready, we will start. Dear students, thank you for attending the lecture. So, as you know, we are in distance learning, we are in online education. The subject is theoretical phonetics, and today we are going to have an interactive lesson using PEDEC platform. Before starting the lecture, please answer the brainstorming questions. What are the pictures meant for you? Here are given two different pictures, and with the help of them, predict the content of the lecture. You are given 5 minutes. You can write your responses. Have you guessed? Excellent. So, today's topic of lecture is the intonational structure of English sentences. The aim of the lecture is the formation of students' linguistic, intercultural, communicative, and professionally adaptive competencies on the topic. The objectives of the lecture are to define the concept intonation, to characterize components of intonation, and to differentiate the types of intonation. Learning outcomes. By the end of the lecture, students, you should define the concept intonation, characterize the components of intonation, and differentiate the types of intonation. And here, given problems which we will discuss together in this lecture, all about intonation. And here several keywords, intonation, functions, components, which we will learn about them. And one more, please pay attention and try to remember. These are new words, the vocabulary of today's lecture, with their translation in Kazakh and in Russian languages. It will help you to understand the whole information and to receive them easily without any difficulties. And one more is glossary, keywords with their definition. It also helps you to receive information easily. Good. Now let's talk about intonation. So students, tell me please, what is intonation? What do you understand with this intonation? Okay. Now listen. Intonation is a complex unit of variations in pitch, stress, tempo, and timbre. Intonation is a term used to refer to distinctive use of different patterns of pitch that carry meaningful intonation. So, yes, meaningful information. So students, question for you again. Does intonation play an important role in the language? What do you think? Wonderful. Intonation plays an important role in the process of human intercommunication. Good job. So let's talk about the principal methods of indicating intonation. There are two main principal methods in the line of the text and outside the line of the text to indicate the intonation. So let's talk about in the line of the text. To mark intonation in the line of the text, we use Rogers-Kington stress mark system, which consists of vertical stress marks to indicate stressed syllables and the slant marks above and below. And the Armstrong system also. System of dots for unstressed syllables, dashes for stressed syllables, and slant marks for final tones to indicate intonation on the scales. What about outside the line of the text? This method is represented by the well-known system of tonogram. By the way, students, have you ever heard about the word tonogram? Well done. Now let's continue. So students, question again. What do you think about the components of intonation? How many components of intonation are there? Wonderful. There are 6 main components of intonation. What are they? They are pitch, sentence stress, rhythm, pause, tempo, and speech timbre. And here, given the definition of all components, please look carefully, read them, and try to remember. The next one is intonation patterns. What is it? Let me explain it. Intonation patterns consist of one or more syllables. Intonation patterns containing a number of syllables consist of the following parts. What are the parts? Prehead, head, nucleus, and tail. They are the intonation patterns. Prehead, initial unstressed syllables. Head, the first stressed syllable in the utterance. Nucleus is the last stressed syllable. and the tail is the unstressed or half-stressed syllable that follow the nucleus. Okay, now let's do a little exercise according to intonation patterns. Look at the second sentence. It was a very sunny day yesterday. Please, students, try to find out the nucleus from this sentence. Have you found it? Wonderful. Yes, yesterday is the nucleus of this sentence, the last stressed syllable. Well done. We can continue. Okay, let's pay attention to the word scale. What is it? Students, remember scale as a series of stressed and unstressed syllables beginning with the first stressed syllable up to the last stressed syllable, okay? Good job. So, and here one more information about the pitch levels. Pitch levels are also important in the theme intonation. How many pitch levels do you know? Yes, of course, 3 pitch levels. Low level, medium level, and high level. Remember and try to learn by heart it. So, okay, main types of English intonation. What do you think? What do you know about the types of intonation in English? How many types of English intonation you know? Excellent, yes. There are 2 main types of intonation in English, falling and rising intonation. Now let's talk about them. First is rising intonation. What is it? So rising intonation expresses various emotions: surprise, doubt, hesitation, request, suggestion, etc. And rising intonation is used in general questions, introductory phrases, alternative questions, direct address, and enumerating items. And here, given pictures of rising information, it will be easily for you to understand about rising intonation. And about falling intonation. Falling intonation is used for asking and giving information in normal, quiet style. And this intonation is used in statements, special questions, commands, exclamatory sentence, and alternative questions, one more tag questions. Good job. Both of them are the main types of English intonation. And here, given other types of intonation: low fall, high fall, rise fall, low rise, high rise, fall rise, mid-level rise, rise fall, rise. And here, examples of these intonation. Please read them carefully and try to remember all of these types of intonation. And let's talk about the functions of intonation. What kind of functions does intonation have? Of course, 4 main functions: attitudinal function, accentual function, grammatical function, and discourse function. Remember these 4 types of, or 4 functions of intonation. It will be helpful for you. So, attitudinal function, accentual, grammatical, and discourse function. Here are given definitions. Read and learn carefully. And one more thing, I have taken from the YouTube the video about English pronunciation, all rise intonation. Please watch the video, and after watching we will discuss it together, and I'll ask questions and you will answer. And here is time for answers. What did you understand from the video, or what did you watch from video? And for today, that's all about intonation. Here is the practical task for you, homework. Look carefully and try to do these tasks. Here, the recommended literature, which I have taken all the information, the main textbook of Madame Berkeze, the main resource, which I have taken the information. And please, students, in 1 minute, write the most important thing from today's lesson. What was the most important thing from today's lesson? And you can write your responses. Have you written? Wonderful. Thanks a lot. Okay, so students, do you have any questions for me? You can write it. And for today, the lesson is over. Thank you for your work, for your active participation. You are the best, you are the nicest, and you are the clever students. See you. Goodbye.